Hello my dear friends, I hope you all are doing good. This is Prashant Mamani and I warmly welcome all of you to StudyIQ. Identify the person that you can see on your screen. Now a couple of days ago, something related with the person that you can see on your screen was a part of current affairs. Of course it was not directly related, but it was a sort of indirect connection, but here it is in front of you. So let's see how many of you can get it right. With this, dear friends, do you know that up to 35% discount at present is available on the pen drive and tablet courses that are offered by StudyIQ. It's a Children's Day sale going on, but the only thing is that this is going to be on till 15th of November. So you have literally what, 5 days to go. If you want, if you haven't got it yet, and if you want to get it now, then use this coupon code that you can see on your screen. Just in case if you have any doubt, question or queries, you have chat support available on studyiq.com and you can always give us a call on the numbers that you can see on your screen. Dear friends, today is World Immunization Day, right? And of course we celebrate, the world celebrates Immunization Day to spread awareness about the diseases, right, that can be prevented. With the help of vaccination, we can tackle this diseases. Dear friends, when we talk about disease or public health, you can break it down into two main branches, or there are two ways or two approaches, right? How you take it, it all depends. It all depends on your attitude, or you can say your perspective, how you take public health, right? And when I say have you, I mean to say the government, of course. So the government has two different ways. One is you can say preventive method, right? And of course, you know, when we say preventive, that means you prevent things before they do take place. And the other one is curative one, right? So here are two ways of tackling any issue. Say for example, if you get ill and then you take medicine, then that's a curative way of dealing with that thing. And in preventing preventive measures, you do exercise, you look after your health and things like that. You take a healthy diet, balanced diet, and all these things. So these are preventive things. Just a couple of examples, right? So this, of course, this when we talk about this Immunization Day, then how can we not talk about this intensified mission Indradhanush? This is a mission that is going on in our country since 2014, and I must say it has achieved, right, many things. It is in the right direction, but still when we see the overall scenario of our country, then we find that most of the times we are in a sort of curative situation. With the introduction of the yoga, or you can say the promotion, the way government is promoting yoga, you can take it as a preventive way of doing things. It is also creating awareness, and there are many sort of things around us nowadays. We know that all this junk food and other things are not good for your health, right? They are tasty and things like that for your tongue, but not good for your health and for your tummy. So this thing is well known by everyone, I believe, nowadays, because of all this awareness and health consciousness. And in this way we can also, I must say that film stars and cricketers and other sports person, right, they are also being inspiration. They are working as like role model for many people, particularly the youth of our country. So that's a good thing as well. And because of the social media, you know, nowadays people, they do like to post their good pictures, of course. So many of them are also being conscious about how they look and things like that. So this is all, at the end of the day, making your life a bit more healthy, you can say. And coming back to this immunization program, dear friends, see, the thing is, this was launched, as I told you, in December 2014, and the main goals of this Indradhanush program is, of course, to provide a protective shield to our children, right, to immunize them, universal immunization. That means children all across the board in our country should be immunized. That's what the main aim is. The other thing I would like to add here is that If you go through the speeches of Prime Minister, President and Vice President and Health Minister, if you go through this United Nations General Assembly, or if you go through your books pertaining to economics and geography and all these books, then as well you will find that you will find the theory of human resource, right? In fact, you might have heard about this thing called demographic dividend, isn't it? Prime Minister has used this word many a times, and we have discussed about this thing as well. What demographic dividend is all about is basically, dear friends, at present, if you see the total population, then 65% of our population is below 35 years of age. That means maximum people in our country are young, right? Majority of them are young. And when you have a young nation, then all your dreams of Make in India and Skill India and your Digital India, if you want to create jobs, if you want to innovate, and all these things are possible because the youth is filled up with energy, vigor. It can take risk and all these things which are good for a good business environment. So in terms of human resources, yes, we do have that, but we have to make sure that our children, right, they are going to be the future generation of our country. So they are provided with this immunization, because if you don't immunize them, what will happen is that you may have a younger population, but they would be lacking in health. And you can imagine that if someone is not healthy, if someone is suffering from disease, then of course their productivity will be down in 1 year. For say, for example, 2 months or for 3 months, they would be hospitalized or bedridden. So you can imagine their overall productivity would be down, and the rest of the days as well, right, or rest of the months as well, they won't be feeling as fit like compared to some other healthy person. So if we don't immunize them, then we are going to lose in all these sectors. Our development and everything will be slowed, or you can say it will come to a chokehold as well if we don't pay attention to this thing. So it is important for our human resource. Apart from that, this immunization, this Indradhanush is not only about children, right? Of course it is immunizing children up to 2 years of age. Here it is given, but apart from that, you have a pregnant woman as well, the mother. All right, mothers are also being or would-be mothers are also being vaccinated, because we know that if the mother is suffering from a sort of disease or something, then it will be carried forward to the newborn baby as well. And only in October this year, you can see the achievement of this mission Indradhanush. 4 lakh children and 3 lakh women were immunized under it. Dear friends, here is the 7, right? You know, Indradhanush basically means rainbow, isn't it? So you have 7 colors in the rainbow. So here are the 7 diseases. I'm not repeating it, you can help yourself with it, but I would like to highlight here that if you are coming from, say for example, Uttar Pradesh, right, then some districts of Uttar Pradesh under this Indradhanush, you are being provided with vaccine of Japanese encephalitis and other diseases, right? So in total there are some 11 diseases that are covered under mission Indradhanush. But when I say 11, I'm talking about some special districts or focused districts and some parts of some states. So if you are belonging from a state, say for example Uttar Pradesh, then you should know which are the other things that are covered under this thing. I'm telling you this thing just in case if you are preparing for State Public Service Commission exam of your state, and if your state is falling under this special category focused, if there are some focused districts over there, then only. Apart from that, you don't have to worry about it. Moving on, dear friends, World Health Organization on this immunization day has of course cherished and appreciated the role of immunization as a preventive tool. It has proven that this is one of the best way to eliminate this infectious diseases. But the sad thing is that even today 18.7 million infants around the world are missing these basic vaccines. Apart from that, we have some news from Cabinet, dear friends. National Judicial Pay Commission is being set up by, or green signal has been given by, Union Cabinet, and it will be chaired by Justice retired J.P. Venkatrama Reddy. Remember this name? And as you can understand from the name itself, National Judicial, that means National Judicial Pay Commission. That means it is going to look after the pay and all these perks and things that are been given to the people who are working in the subordinate judiciary. So this committee or this commission will go through it, and within 18 months it will report or it will present its recommendation to the states. So this is an important thing. Many times you find this sort of questions in terms of GK, or they ask you match the following, and Justice J.P. Venkatrama Reddy committee or commission is for blah blah blah. So you should know it is about National Judicial Pay Commission. The second decision, and this one is a bit important as well, it is about National Testing Agency, and it is going to look after or create rules, and it will frame rules, and it will decide how you are going to conduct this entrance examinations for higher education, right? So this is a thing. It is at present we don't have that much information about it, but in near future if we hear something about it, we will discuss about it. But I must say that I have presented this thing just to ensure that this thing is there in your mind, it is registered in your mind. International Court of Justice, and this is important because till now we have discussed this thing many a times, that United Nations is a sort of outdated organization. We know that it is a product of post World War II, isn't it? And since then we haven't seen any sort of radical change in terms of its functioning and the way it is organized and things like that. So there has been a demand for a longer period of time, and this demand has become a bit severe, right? India is being bit, when I say aggressive, I'm not saying that it is shouting out and things like that, but it is trying all the tricks, right? It has in its book. It is trying everything to make sure that the changes are done or made as soon as possible. The other thing is this news also is this one is pertaining to ICJ, that is International Court of Justice. We know that Kulbhushan Jadhav case was being dealt here. We went there against Pakistan and things like that. So these are the two strong reasons why I believe that you may find a question on this thing. So what this is all about now, this International Court of Justice, they do require judges, of course. So India and Britain at present, they are neck to neck for re-election of their own judges. We have Dalveer Bhandari and they have Mr. Greenwood. So what happened basically, or how it works, you have to go through an election. Now how election takes place, you have two bodies, right? You have United Nations General Assembly and you have United Nations Security Council. So in General Assembly you have 193 members. So of course you have to have a majority of votes. One member will provide one vote. And in the same way, United Nations Security Council, you have 15 members. The maximum you need to take, or not maximum, the minimum that is required for the majority. When it comes to UNGA, it is 97 votes, and when it comes to UNSC, you need at least 8 votes. Now what has happened here, that in this UNGA we have managed to get 115 votes, right? So we are in a lead over here. But when it came to this United Nations Security Council, and we know that Britain is part of a permanent member, so it can throw some weight here. And because of that thing, this Britain got, their candidate has got more votes than ours, than Mr. Bhandari. So there is a sort of a doldrum here, but there are procedures as well. So you should be aware about how these things work, how this voting takes place. That's it. Moving on to another item, and let me tell you, this Saudi Arabia has declared war, right? They have declared war on Lebanon. Lebanese Prime Minister was in Saudi Arabia, and from Saudi Arabia, he has declared his resignation. Basically, in Lebanon, the government was in coalition. It was supported by both Saudi Arabia and Iran, and you know it very well. These two countries are arch rival of each other, and imagine their supported groups are running the government in Lebanon. So this was going to happen, and we discussed this thing in the Hindu analysis of English version that has been taken by me, we have discussed about Mr. Everything, right? A new prince who is controlling most of the things in Saudi Arabia. So this is a thing that is going on over here, and again this area is in a sort of, you can say, an inferno situation. So you may find questions pertaining to this thing. If you find it or not, this is an important thing, because the oil production, right, we rely heavily on import of oil, and this part of the world is famous for oil supply. So it is going to have, we are going to see a sort of rise in oil prices, and that will impact the whole, you can say, inflation situation in our country. With this, dear friends, I have 3 questions here for you, and I would like to remind you again that don't forget to get your pen drive and tablet courses before 15th of November to get the maximum out of the Children's Day sale. With this, don't forget to share, subscribe, do give us a like, right? It motivates us to produce more good quality work for you. Pass your comments and answers. I'll see you all soon. Till then, enjoy your studies. Jai Hind.